Hey guys, it's Jason at around 7 o'clock this morning. And it's funny, I was looking at some of my videos, some of the ones that I posted already, and I look very tired. And then it dawned on me, of course I do, because what I do in the morning is I get up, I go for a walk, run up down the road, and then I come back, and then I finish working out. And then I have my cup of coffee, and then in the next couple moments, what I do is I set up the camera and I do my video blogs. So it's very early when I'm doing this stuff. I'm actually getting up around 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, somewhere around there. And so even now it's like 7 o'clock. Still pretty early in general, and usually I don't look that tired throughout the rest of the day. So I want to put that out there because I don't want you to say, well, geez, Jason looks awful tired. Like maybe this diet's not working for him. That's not the case at all. It's just an early hour, and after just exercising and doing all that stuff, after just getting up and then exercising and then finally having my first cup of coffee only moments before I start recording. It's like, no wonder I'm a little sleepy. So anyways, what I'd like to, and I've got a little outline here so that I don't trail too far off the beaten path. But I wanted to talk about the diet a little bit in that I want to talk about the few people that I've talked to in doing the, not in doing the diet, but in dealing with the diet, because people are curious. They're wondering how I've lost all my weight. I've lost about 26 pounds so far, and it's happened quite quickly in the last, like, I don't know, it happened I started the detox diet, this detox diet. It's very different than other ones. It's even unique to most of the diets out there. But I started it about 3 months ago, I believe, 3 or 4 months ago, somewhere around there. I started eating, I was eating the regular, typical diet. They call it Standard American Diet or the SAD diet. I was eating that way, just about anything I wanted, actually. And then all of a sudden, one of my dear friends, a group of us got together and at Tracy's house with Matt's food and with Corey cooking it. We ate kale, this delicious kale dish, and I loved it. Kale with vegetables. It was like a vegetarian kind of thing. I don't believe there was any meat in it, except, oh, well, I take that back. There was some shrimp in it, but I mean that's pretty benign. Anyway, so made this dish, and it was out of this world. And at that point, it forever changed me because I was like, it reintroduced kale into my life. I've had it before, I loved it, and now I was able to eat it again. So every day, I ran out that day, and once I left there, and I went and bought a huge bag of kale, and ever since I've been having kale every day. Is that the essence to this diet? No, but it's symbolic. It was symbolic of that change. And I started mixing vegetables together with the kale and mixing it all up and cooking it. But at the time I was using olive oil and different things like that. Olive oil and sea salt, which doesn't sound like that would be that bad. Olive oil, everybody thinks, is healthy. Well, yes, it is for most people. But for me and my sensitivities to mental health and mental illness, apparently it's not. Something about the omega-6s are a problem. So whereas most people can eat this, myself, a person with mental illness, seems to have a high sensitivity to it. And that's what this diet's all about, is trying to find what those sensitivities are and avoid those foods. And when you avoid those foods, suddenly your body starts recovering and it starts getting healthier and you lose weight because those toxins, what my body would consider a toxin would be like an omega-6 or something like that. Again, most people would consider that healthy. And this is all in theory too. I haven't proven this yet, but based on the foods that I can eat, the one thing that seems to have to be eliminated is the omega-6s for me. So, and they're in almost everything. They're in meat, dairy, eggs, they're in almost everything, and they're even fortified in a lot of things that wouldn't normally have it. The standard American diet actually has 20 times the amount of omega-3, or I'm sorry, omega-6s, not omega-3s. Omega-3s are a good fat for me, but omega-6s, it's just happened throughout the years that they naturally, I'm talking about the food producers, have started putting omega-6s in just about everything. So, yeah, so anyways, I'm just noticing the time, so I'm getting a little distracted here. It's almost 5 minutes already. So I started eating kale, but that marked a change in my diet, and I slowly started weaning off in the next 2 months, alright? And eating, and I started losing weight and eating less and less meat, basically. But it was about 1 month and a week ago that I made the big leap and went completely to the type of diet that I'd discovered for myself. And I discovered this by finding a web page that actually talked about a schizophrenic woman who stopped all her hallucinations and all her negative and positive symptoms of schizophrenia by simply eating a raw food diet with no meat or dairy or gluten, I believe. So she did this and she went through a radical change. Now most people would be like, well, I couldn't eat like that. That just leaves fruits and vegetables. Well, there's truth to that it does just leave fruits and vegetables. But what you might be surprised is once you get through the transition period, which lasts about a week or so, what you have to do is start weaning yourself for like a month or so or 2 months. Slowly start weaning yourself off, and then when you get to a certain point, take the leap into the diet. And for that first week, you'll feel like a transition period where you will not feel that great. You'll feel like, and the reason for that is your body is detoxing all these chemicals and things out of your system. So it makes you feel kind of emotionally off balance. It makes you feel physically off. You might have flu-like symptoms, different things like this. But what I guarantee, well, I'm not going to say I guarantee because everybody's different. But what I found for myself is once that week was done, once I was through that fire, once I went through that transition period, you know what happened? Everything good that I ever wanted suddenly happened to me. I woke up. I woke up and I was calm and peaceful and stressless. And it was almost like my schizoaffective disorder was gone completely. And I say almost like because it's never going to be gone. I will always have to eat this way, I assume. But the symptoms for it are gone. And it's not just that. I'm feeling better than most people that I encounter. And I'm not just talking about people with mental illness. I'm talking about people in general that aren't even diagnosed with mental illness, that are dealing with negativity and anger and just everyday things, feeling the blues or having a bad day. Or I haven't had a bad day in over a month and a week. Well, about a month now, because that first week, like I said, was the transition period and that was tricky. But I have not had a bad day since that period. So I'm going to leave it at that because my time's up, and I think that's a good note. So if you're curious, just get in contact with me and we can talk about this a little bit further. I am putting together a program so that people know basically a little bit more about what the steps would be to undertake this type of diet if they are in fact interested. But it's wonderful. It's been a huge life changer, and I thank you so much for coming and watching my video today. Alright, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.